So I am back and I'll try to stay on here longer to give the people who disagree an opportunity to come back. And you can even have the link to come up here, and but I'm going to stand on what I just said. There is no such thing as protection when your employer has decided that they are going to terminate you. Yes, unions are a form of protection. Civil service rules are also a form of protection, but neither one of those things guarantee employment. Okay? Those layers, they just make it harder for the employer to terminate you. That does not mean that you will are guaranteed to keep your job. You do understand that unionized people get fired every day? Civil service employees get fired all the time. I mean, look at these federal workers. Those are civil service employees. They're gone. So I don't know I don't know what the pushback is about the statement, but it's true. And really, let's talk about what the situation that I was just describing about the young woman who says her union rep told her to take FMLA. If you are at the point where your union rep is telling you to take FMLA, that's not a small action. They're trying to put space between you and your job. So that's the part you're not listening to. The issue is so hot, they want you to step aside. Because if you don't, you're going to risk being terminated probably sooner than you'd like. And that's just what it is. So I suggest that if you are having conflicts with your employer, and listen, I've been in hostile work environments. I'm not just talking out my ass, but I do know that getting random advice from somebody from a chat or from a Facebook post really is not the most strategic thing you can do. And so you're going to have to make a decision. How far are you willing to take this? So if in her case the union rep has validated her situation, she says that the union rep told her she wasn't wrong, and she says she's documenting. However, the union rep still told her to take a break. That means they are letting you know in unclear terms. They're just not going to come out and tell you, because most people, who's going to respond well to, yeah, you're absolutely right, but yeah, they're going to get rid of you, you need to take a break. Nobody wants to hear that. You don't want to hear that. So what when you go on a FMLA break, especially if it's really not due to medical issues, or perhaps you are having a medical issue, and that is why, in this particular situation, the union rep is suggesting this. Perhaps there are some accommodations being made. But if you're being targeted because you have a disability, that is a whole separate issue. And again, if you're going to ask people for advice or you're not going to get into the full dynamics of it, it's really difficult for someone to give you advice. And I really would just listen. I'm doing social media content creation. I love to ask Ren questions, and for me, my whole purpose is to help and support. But I think part of that support is just giving you help that is actually going to help you. And that is to say, hey, don't take advice from randos on the internet. Speak to the people who are specialists in this field. I'm not an employment attorney. I'm not a union representative. And each union representative, number one, is totally different because each union negotiates different contracts for different entities, right? So you're speaking to the person who specialized in the contract for your employer. They are the ones that can answer your questions better than anybody other than an attorney. So you have to decide how far you are willing to go. You're either going to make a strategic surrender or a strategic withdrawal. Those are your two choices, especially if your employer has put you in a situation where basically they're daring you. They're giving you they want you to give them a reason to fire you. And so when they've made that clear, when they've already positioned that way, that's their pole position, okay? You're here with them at the starting line. you're going to have to decide if you're going to press that accelerator or not. And if you're not willing to do that, then you need to get your ass out the car. And that means go back to your cubicle, sit down. Yeah, this you don't want to hear this. It was hard for me when I had to get to the point where I understood I don't work for myself. They know there's a problem. They're not willing to fix it. Am I ready to go? Yes or no? I had to go. It took me a long time, but I finally left. And in the other situation, I had to do what I'm telling you to do. Sit down and shut up. If something is egregious, you do the paperwork. Let the paperwork push the paperwork through. Let the paperwork speak for itself. If it gets to the point where you have to file litigation, you'll have to ultimately make that decision. Do you want to go that far? These are not easy decisions to make. And this is why you really want to seek counsel and not from some rando on the internet. Now, for the people who want to argue and give pushback and talk about what your situation was, unless you're working at the same place as this person and you're unionized under the same rules, you don't know what you're talking about either. You're just giving random advice, just like I would be giving random advice. And to me, the best thing for this person to do is to listen to their union rep. Because literally, their union rep basically told them to sit down and shut up. They don't want to do that. Then go on FMLA and take a break. Put some space between you and this. But here's the thing, even if you go on FMLA, understand when you come back, you still gonna have to sit down and shut up if you're not gonna leave. And even in the sitting down and shutting up, I'm not telling you just shut up and take it, because I don't believe in shut up and take it. I'm not condoning abuse, but I'm telling you, you're not going to win in that environment. The only thing you can do is document and decide how far you're willing to go. And if you're willing to go that far, then you'll see them in court. And that's the final say for me on this. I'm not coming back. I've been up here a few more minutes to give you all the time you needed to come back. And that's that. Hey, Nyla. So, Sean.